Greetings, pilgrims. Well met. I am Donna Prescott, author of the great American novel, The Graceland Tales. Welcome to installment number 3 of Verbop in Talk, also known as virtual book promotion in the time of COVID. You may notice my spiffy shirt that I just received. I also have this really nice Elvis belt buckle that I bought. I think it was 2007 in Penzance, England, and some really cool Elvis earrings. And recently, I finally broke down and bought a pop socket for my phone. I don't know why I waited so long. I was afraid it would make it too bulky, but that is of Elvis too. Unfortunately, for Miss O'Connor, I had put a sticker of Flannery O'Connor on the back of my phone, and now Elvis, the pop socket, is covering that, but oh well. When I started writing the Graceland Tales, I, Donna Prescott, uh, a goal was to bring many of Chaucer's characters forward into the modern context, and many times I had to update the character in some way because the job was obsolete or I had to make some adjustments. Uh, Two of the characters that I'm going to talk about today, one, the Reeve. In medieval times, a Reeve was a manager of, a business manager of an estate, an overseer. So I brought Chaucer's Reeve forward as Oriel, the hotel manager. In medieval times, millers ground grain for they were essential workers, turning this grain into usable form for cooking for the masses and even the not masses. But in modern times, machines grind the grain, mill the grain for mass consumption. So I brought Chaucer's miller forward as um, Rose the waitress. I spoke with one of my readers to ask, should I use the gender neutral term Rose the server? And we both agreed that no, Rose the waitress suit this context well. Chaucer's Miller plays his group out of London on the bagpipes. It's not clear what song he chose to play. My Rose, the waitress, plays the group out on the ukulele. Now in Verbop in Talk 2, I played the song that she plays, Ready Teddy, as the train pulls out of Union Station in Chicago. And so tonight I'm going to play That's All Right Mama, or some of That's All Right Mama for you instead. Well, that's all right, mama. That's all right for you. That's all right, mama. Just anything you do, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right now, mama. Any way you wanna do. I'm leaving town tomorrow. Leaving here for sure. You won't have to be bothered with me, baby. I know that's alright. That's alright. That's alright now, mama. Any way you wanna do. Alright. In Chaucer's general prologue, the narrator Chaucer introduces each of the medieval pilgrims to the reader. In my novel, Donna, the narrator, introduces the travelers to the reader. So here is Donna's introduction of Rose and Oriel. Donna, is transitioning between travelers, and so she's talking with Pam the senator, And she then moves on to Rose and Oriel. Uh, I will let you get back to your work. As Pam resumes tapping on her keyboard, I hear a bit of a kerfuffle behind me. I turn around to find a solidly built woman arguing with a petite woman sporting a carefully trimmed afro the color of sheep's wool. The smaller woman says, "As the hotel manager, I run a tight ship. I manage conferences and individual lectures and even the restaurant where you work, don't you forget," the smaller woman says. The larger woman replies, "Ha! And how exactly is it that you can afford to drive that sports car on a hotel manager's salary?" "You watch your mouth," says the petite woman, who is dressed in a gray pinstriped pantsuit with a cream blouse. "I run my business professionally. Don't make charges you can't support." I interject, "Excuse me, Rose." The larger woman turns to me abruptly. "How'd you know my name? You're still wearing your name tag." Rose looks down. "Oh." She takes off the name tag and shoves it in the pocket of her short sleeved blue polo shirt. The smaller woman says, "At least you remembered to take off your apron. At least my mother didn't name me after a window." Rose turns to me. "Her mother named her Oriel like a bay window." Oriel looks me in the eye. "She meant to name me Ariel," she says, and then looks at Rose. "As in Lioness of God?" Then she turns back to me. "But a mistake on the birth certificate left me as Oriel." "Oriel's a nice name, unusual, I observe. Actually, it comes from the Latin and means golden or golden-haired." Oriel looks at Rose. "See there? It's a respectable name. From Latin." Rose says, "Oriel gets her golden hair from a bottle." "I didn't mean to interrupt your conversation," I say, trying to diffuse their conflict. "But you two must be part of the Graceland trip." Rose answers grudgingly, "Yeah, Oriel is my boss and some kind of Elvis freak." Oriel says, "Lady Rose here is a mixed martial arts wannabe. She's heading to Memphis for an MMA bout. When I saw the publicity about this Graceland tour, I decided to tag along." "Wannabe," Rose says. She addresses Oriel. "I could take you down in the time it takes you to tack on a bogus fee to room rate, you scrawny witch." Rose turns to me. "I'm known for my Juji Gatami move. My fights rarely go beyond 2 rounds. I've trained in Las Vegas with the best. I even was written up in Women's MMA Today." Oriel snorts. "Written up?" She was mentioned for her nickname, Nosy Rosie, because she set a record for most nosebleeds in her class. Just look at that nose. I notice that Rose's nose does have a pronounced bump near the bridge. Rose goes on the offensive. "I'm surprised she agreed to be away from the Tabard Inn for so long, as much as she micromanages. Oriel knows every little detail about the hotel and restaurant. At any given time, she probably knows how many bars of soap are in the storeroom and how many pieces of lettuce are on the salad bar." The Tabard Inn happens to be where Chaucer's Canterbury pilgrims begin their pilgrimage." Before Oriel can respond, Good Luck Charm laughs. Oriel slips her phone out of her pinstriped jacket pocket and says, "It's the hotel. I have to take it," and goes off to the side. Rose says, "With Oriel on this trip, I wouldn't want to be the tour leader. I'm sure Oriel will have a pointer or 5 before we even leave the station." We stand in awkward silence for a moment. Then Rose asks, a bit sheepishly, "Do you know where the bar is? I need something stronger than wine to drink." I think it is that way, and I point in the direction Adam went looking for Sandra towards the stairs to the mezzanine level. All right. At an on-site reading, someone asked me who was my favorite character. Without hesitation, I said Rose. Rose has a grittiness about her that I like, and yet she's still very vulnerable. However, I figure if she walked into this room right now, she would not give me the time of day. To start wrapping up here, I'm going to play a little bit of Hound Dog. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. As the gift-giving season plods along, give a unique gift this year, a copy of the Graceland Tales by me, Donna Prescott, to your Elvis-loving, Chaucer-loving, bookworm friends. They are available to purchase through the Graceland Tales Facebook page. Just click the Shop Now button and you will get there. And if you live in the Charleston area, I will be happy to save you the $3 postage and deliver. The Graceland Tales is also available as an ebook through Amazon or other ebook purveyors. Graceland Tales is all in print is also available through Amazon if you would rather purchase it that way. And you may contact me, Donna Prescott, with questions through the Facebook page. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.